So what's going to happen now that former President Trump is president-elect again? Well, this makes him only the second president to hold non-consecutive presidential terms. The only president to do that was Grover Cleveland, who was the 22nd and 24th president serving in office in the late 1800s. But now in the year 2024, what will this second Trump presidency mean for you? Obviously, I don't predict the future, but based on what the former president has said in the last few years on the campaign trail and what he did in his last term, we know a few things for sure. Obviously, things are going to change. This video is going to talk about just a few of those issues. First, let's be very clear. Both of the federal criminal cases against President-elect Trump, including the 2020 election interference case, also known as the January 6th case, and the classified documents case, which are both still in litigation right now, will end. The Department of Justice will not prosecute a president. And on top of that, after January 20th, Merrick Garland will no longer be the Attorney General. Trump will install his own cabinet, including a new Attorney General, and that new AG will obviously dismiss Special Counsel Jack Smith. There are actually reports today that Smith has already reached out to Garland about winding down his cases. The only question is going to be whether or not, before the end of this year, if Jack Smith will issue some kind of final report on either or both of those cases. That we don't know yet. Second, understand that most Supreme Court watchers are under the impression that the two oldest Supreme Court justices, Justice Clarence Thomas and Justice Samuel Alito, will likely retire. That will give Trump potentially two more Supreme Court picks. And he, of course, will pick two young conservatives. And because voters also gave Republicans control of the Senate this year in this election, those nominees will probably sail through the confirmation process and will ultimately sit on the Supreme Court bench. It only takes a simple majority to confirm a justice in the United States Senate, and as of last night, Republicans have 52 seats with potentially two more seats yet to be called. Third, it's safe to say, based on what happened when Trump took office in 2017 and when Biden took office in 2021, Trump will revoke any Biden administration policy that he can. Biden did that with Trump policies, and Trump did that with Obama policies. That includes policies that are currently in litigation or currently in the rulemaking process, including student loan forgiveness policies and rules that have not been approved by Congress. Programs like the Public Service Loan Forgiveness Program, which was approved by Congress, will likely stay. That one's been around since the George W. Bush administration, though it may be more difficult to qualify for that program because making it easier to qualify was a Biden policy. But any new Biden student loan forgiveness program that has been proposed or has been enacted in the last 4 years and not approved by Congress is definitely in jeopardy, including the Save Income-Driven Repayment Program, which, as I've been reporting, is currently moving its way through the court system. So it is possible that the new Trump Department of Justice will abandon the fight to protect those programs, especially because it is the red states that are suing to shut them down. Along the same policy lines, expect major changes to the immigration policies immediately when Trump takes office. He has promised the largest deportation effort in the country's history. How he plans to carry that out exactly and what level of involvement will be required by Congress will depend on what exactly he chooses to do. And fourth, I'm sure you were wondering about Trump's promises about no tax on tips or no tax on overtime or Social Security and when that's going to happen. It is unclear, and the reality is, yes, Republicans will control the Senate, but right now the House is still up for grabs. It is possible the Republicans will retain control of the House, but right now it's also possible that Democrats can flip it. So if Republicans retain control of the House and have the Senate and the White House, it is going to be relatively easy for Trump's tax policies to be enacted, including renewing the 2017 Trump tax cuts, which are up for renewal in 2025. But if Democrats control the House, those tax policies may have to shift a little bit.